Okay, it's Midlife Crisis Jiu Jitsu with Foxy, Roger, Barry, and Andy. So we're going to go through some of your Instagram questions today. Are we all looking at the correct camera? Everybody else?
Kieran Brown, you're dead.
Kieran Brown.
Serious questions.
Let's start with some of the ones that we're almost certainly not going to answer, right? How do you get ears like Roger? Asking for a friend.
Rude.
It's rude.
That's from his missus at home. Punching the head on.
Andy said it's from listening to Foxy too much.
Yeah. Foxy going on about mules.
Yeah.
And avocados.
And avocados, yeah.
I'm going to roll down. I saw something here that you might actually... here it is. How you avoided ears like Roger. That was to me. You're beautiful. Magnificent ears. Just don't train very hard. Simple. It's easy. Don't get smashed. Don't kick out the big guys. There's a few kind of more general questions. There's a man here has asked us, where is it gone? Oh no, I'm so sorry. I've been a white belt a year and a half. Should I like to start developing a game or a guard? Foxy.
A game or guard? Well, that's probably the same thing. But I would say, yeah, it's good to kind of narrow down after a while. When you're a white belt, try and take a broad look at as many things as possible and see what you like, because at the start you haven't a clue what you're talking about, so sample everything. And then when you work into a blue belt or purple belt, you can start focusing and narrow your focus. That's my opinion.
Roger.
My opinion, a white belt, learn everything.
Learn everything, yeah.
It depends on your age as well, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And your athletic ability. You might get some fella comes in a white belt, he's playing rugby or doing CrossFit, and he comes in and he can smash by someone's guard and pin them with no technical ability. And you might want him to slow it down, learn a little bit more technique. Or you might get some older guy starting in his 40s that hasn't been on the mat or isn't, flexible and can move positions, and it might be a little longer than him,
Yeah, he might be better off just learning one position.
Learn a position, and work from that little position then,
I think the Schumann, based on his Instagram profile, he looks like a younger age profile anyway, yeah. But I always think there's nothing I did at white belts that I still do today probably, except for the basics, except for the fundamentals.
I do a tap. Well, that's a big thing. Don't be afraid to tap.
Yeah.
So what you get caught?
Yeah.
I say to my lads all the time, you see two lads and there could be a young fella on the arm and I said, let's tap. You know what I mean? There's no big
Don't
deal.
be trying to win every role.
There's right fellas going to play training football and no one scores a goal. Everyone just defends. Go and give it a go. Go for that iron bar you learned. You mightn't get it.
Yeah.
You might get counted. Go for that guard pass. You mightn't get it. But you got to learn it. You got to just enjoy it. Enjoy it.
Embrace failure.
Yeah, but that's the number one thing.
Well, it's not failure, it's learning, isn't it?
Yeah. I try to say that all the time. Look, if you don't if you're not here enjoying yourself, you're not going to stick around not very long anyway, right? So you're not going to have, even if you're a year and a half in anyway, you've probably already realised that you like it at this stage. Because if you've gone beyond the sort of 3-month phase, you're probably in for life. You're in the cult, and that's it. The only way to get out is to be deprogrammed. But if you just kind of enjoy yourself and pick positions and enjoy the positions. What I would say is don't chase down too many blind alleys with some of the more complicated guards and stuff like that. I mean, there's a lot more to be learned. Every time you run into those kind of plateaus anyway, where you kind of think, I'm not getting any better. It does tend to help to go back to the basics, to go back to closed guard.
The basics is key, isn't it? You see a lot of beginners in their white belt and they can't even get the posture right. They're not even practicing that, and they're trying to do a Barambola or they're trying to do this worm guard because they've seen it on Facebook, but they still even can't do a forward roll. You know what I mean? Take your time, no big deal, learn the basics.
You'll come to it. Speaking of which, Andy, Andy's opinion on worm guard. Try to treat this.
Fucking smash the bar. I play worm guard all the time.
Try to treat this seriously.
Smash Kieran Brown, you're dead. You bet you asked that, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah. That's Kieran Brown's question there.
That's all he does. We reverse back to that. Skinny little bastard, And he's some cork to make it worse.
That's it, yeah. Double down.
I got a question here. What are your opinions on using no-gi techniques in the gi? For example, a Dardis or guillotines, etc.
Dardis, I'm not saying they don't work in the gi, but they're very, very hard to get. You'd have to be much bigger, much larger than your opponent, or really long-limbed. And other than that, I don't think you can still Dardis them with the collar.
Yeah, like a Bravo is essentially the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was only last week I was saying if you're doing a technique that works gi and no gi, try to do the no gi version. Because if you're relying on grips, then you go to Noogie, they're not there. You're a little step behind.
Well, I switch for guillotines in the gi. I just loop choke instead.
She's just going against what I just said.
Yeah. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like, but in Jiu Jitsu, there's like multiple approaches.
No,
so,
there is. Yeah.
So, like, I still guillotine people in the gi. I think, but a lot of the time I'll go to loop chokes, or instead of a dart, I don't really dart people, but I'll use a Bravo choke with the collar. So,
that's
fucking around with collars.
More submissions there, I suppose. Yeah, but I'm talking about guards, like your positions and your arm locks and stuff. If you're relying on grips,
it was something like I remember, like years. Geez, it came up in like Instagram there, like a memory that I think someone shared it, and it was the Mendes brothers over. When was that? 2011 or something? 2010. Yeah. So, and I remember them. We were asking questions about like De La Riva. Oh, would you play De La Riva, Noogie? And he was like, no. They were like, why would you? I was almost like, why would you do that? Like, you know, because it's so grip dependent, like, you know. But I don't know, like it's good to have. My guard is reasonably the same. Gi and Noogie, like I play X and butterfly, so it tends to.
Oh, them bendy bastards are playing that De La Riva guard now for that footlock, that Coyer Terror footlock. They're all doing the same.
The Mikey Musumeci one.
Yeah.
I
tried to do it and he broke my knees.
Oh yeah. I was looking at it and I was doing it. I was trying to do a catch it on lads, and I was going, I'm convinced I'm going to tear my own knee here.
Yeah.
But then I saw a couple of lads doing it and I went, no, I'm just doing it wrong. That's all that's happening. But yeah, it's savage.
You got to be comfortable in that position as well.
Yeah. I think anything like as well, for the older gentlemen who are watching out there, like anything, like there is a limit to your, you know, not to change your expectations, but like to kind of say, you know.
Yeah. Play the long game.
Play the long game there, yeah.
I'll answer for the young people. You can answer for all the older.
Okay. All right.
I'm the youngest. I'm the youngest. Am I?
How old are you, Fox?
He's
42 this year.
42.
I've been 39 for the last 2 years now.
In your 40s. I'm in my 30s.
Yeah.
39.
In your mid to late
39,
30s. In your mid to late 30s, I think you should say
I
there.
was born the 80s.
So I'm the old man here.
Yeah.
I'm 47 this year in a couple of months.
Uncle Andy.
47. Still kicking you up his ass.
There you
Still
go.
running.
Still smashing
He's high risk for
He's trying to get me over there for trying. High risk for coronavirus, yeah.
You're in that category. You want to watch. Want to be careful. You got another
Right,
one?
I got another one.
47.
So, medium Algar. What's the most significant change in your game in the last few years? Preference for a guard, etc.
Go, Andy, you go first.
So for me, I would have been a very much on top trying to smash people, you know, and pressure passing. And then I found then, when I got 40, but when I got to the 45 mark, that it changes. So I play a lot of half guard from the bottom, and I sort of let other guys do the work, and I relax into the position. I try and relax my rounds a little bit more, where probably when I first met you, Roger, or on a round a few years ago, I would have that thing of that, I got to beat you up, and I got to, maybe it's from a competitive background, but now I try to sit back a little bit. You're old, you've nothing to prove. You've got to prove something to me. I'm saying all that, but I'm really telling you. Yeah, no, but I play a lot of half guard from the bottom because I have bad knees and I've my shoulders fucked and a few little things.
Half
like
guard
that.
is the OAP. Yeah.
I play from top and bottom. I'm comfortable in the position.
Yeah, that's half guard. Yeah,
I've
I've doubled down on half guard.
Is there some people on the play?
That's I play half guard all the time. Well, I've been playing half guard since I started.
Yeah, I only started playing half guard since I got my black belt.
Yeah, but you're always going to pass in the half
I
guard.
love to pass the half guard, yeah.
Top position,
Now I play it, yeah.
I'm trying to play both positions now, where I'm comfortable on the bottom and the top in the half guard. That I'm not panicking. You know what I mean?
I don't know if there's like a load of things that have changed because I've got better, or I don't know if I've got better actually.
You get more clever.
I think you just get a bit smarter and you just sort of stop wasting a bit of time on certain things. Like I was saying, like earlier, I had an injury, like neck injury, so I used to pass head down all the time. But I'm only doing that again now. I'm only a bit more confident in it again to do it. But even at that, I was thinking to myself, you know, every time I pass like that, I get my head driven into the mat sometimes and lads hit the skate out. I was thinking, do you know, this is probably a good thing to change anyway. Even when you have an injury, you're not like, you know, it's not a good habit to get into, to kind of continually force yourself into like bad positions, like, you know. I gave up in the De La Riva guard. That's one thing.
You did? All right.
I actually went, this isn't for me. Yeah. I just went,
I think that's the same for the last few years with me. Is there's a lot of techniques that I realise are not for me, so I don't play them anymore. So whereas before I would have been trying to force the square peg into the round hole and go, I'll make this work, but now there's a lot of stuff where I'll have enough knowledge to maybe teach a beginner's class on it, like the basics about it, like spider guard or something like that, but it's not my game. So
I still try to learn them all. Yeah.
There's a pressure there as well to learn it, because you want to be able to teach it, I suppose, at some level. Like even the new guy, we talk about worm guard and stuff like that, you know. But what I don't feel that pressure anymore now. I used to feel like, I have to know everything, to kind of catch up. And I was like, no, I had my thing that I do. I'm going to learn enough to be able to teach it to some extent, and then if lads want to go on and explore it, there's other options out there. And I mean, the internet.
I'll ask you a question, let know I'm at the text in there now. Do you think Jiu Jitsu, the game, has changed in the last year? Not in the last 10 years, the last year. You know, I noticed a beginner come in now to join up, and he's fucking trying to do toe holds and knee bars and footlocks, and he's been watching them, you know. It seems to be trendy now, isn't it, this whole leg game now. You know, they're quite happy to sit back and let people do what they want, and that leg game seems to be a massive thing now.
Yeah,
I think the progress as well, like the curve is a lot, like the life cycle is narrowed.
Yeah.
So you get people coming in from a beginner to being a very good blue belt. Like you'd probably see it a lot more in a year. Whereas before, for us, the trickle feed of information was a lot, like you were getting trained by somebody only a belt or two ahead of you. Whereas now you've got multiple high-level belts on the mats, and you've got YouTube blown up and all the instructionals. And
they don't know how lucky they have it.
I tell you,
them young people.
Back in my day,
fucking true.
Rolling on carpets, and my first roll, true story. My first 5 or 6 rolls were on wooden floor. That's true. Like, and people.
That was with the Christian brother.
And it did me no harm either. Look.
And he had loads of hair then.
No, we used to roll.
Actually, photographed the other day on Facebook of you and Howard. And all. Howard is about 110 kilos.
Yeah,
and he has a bit of hair. Yeah,
and he's the goatee.
Yeah.
Beautiful hair, flowing locks. No,
he's here. The sides like that.
What you call it? A drive-through. The wrap around hair. Yeah, no, it's a long time since I had hair. Long time since I saw that. But no, I don't know. Like, you know, like I suppose we were talking about like all that kind of leg lock game and all that stuff. I think it's like it's the competition format that's brought it about. So the fact that you've so much submission only now.
Yeah, it's changed, hasn't it? And a lot of the grappling industry type of stuff. And
you can give out as much as you want about the rules of IBJJF, and I know a lot of people do, and they've got problems with them. But what IBJJF rules are based around is trying to keep it as a martial art that's based around combat. So the most dominant positions are rewarded, the back and the mount, takedowns are rewarded, all that kind of stuff. And the rules are out there to try and stop guys from just sitting on their backside and doing that.
I had this conversation before, and someone said to me, it should be submission only. I said, okay, then we go to the European Championships where there's 3,000 people. It'll be fucking 6 months waiting for the draw. Because it's a time limit because of a reason. You've got 50 guys entered in the weight category. It can't just be open time at 20 minutes a match.
And that's the sport as well. That's the sport of Jiu Jitsu. And it doesn't have to be completely related to self-defense or anything. It doesn't have to be. They're not relative. They can be completely separate.
And of course, you can have your things like Kieran Davin and lads are doing, and the Grappling King and stuff where you can have your no time limits yet, because it's a show on a night. There's maybe 10, 20 fights on.
There'll always be an avenue for that for people. But what I'd say to people is don't worry. Like you think, I know on submission only. I don't like the point system. I don't like this. But if you're only training 18 months, 2 years, you don't really. I'm not saying you don't have the right to do that. You don't have the right to complain. But you have to earn your stripes to get to like a 20-minute, submission only match.
But I think the goal is probably a lofty goal to be well-rounded enough that you can compete in all of these formats. And also, like, rather than being very one-dimensional, and you could just only do submission-only fights where you've no passing game at all, because all you do is you come out, you sit in your arse, and you look for a foot.
They have a habit now coming to the gym now. I see a lot of the MMA guys. There's no problem being on the bottom. It's like, lads, if this is a 5-minute match, you're going to be in trouble here.
Yeah, and they've no takedowns. They've no passing at all, and all they have is like a berimbolo to a footlock or something.
We were talking there about like great seminars and stuff like that. What's another question? Best seminar. We'll get onto it.
What's the best seminar you've been to?
Well, I think some of the best stuff that I've learned. I don't want to go on about dry stuff because obviously I'd be a bit biased like Robert, but like very simple stuff. Very easy to understand, but stuff that you can kind of plug into your game all the time, and very with a lack of. Not there's complexity to it, but it's based around the fundamentals of the game, like, and that's what I always liked about those ones. But like we were talking about like things that are easy to kind of, I don't know, easy to adapt to and easy to understand for everybody. But like I was thinking there, you know, like almost rerunning a beginner's class for my more advanced students. So like literally send them back to the beginner's class just to go back to the fundamentals of your posture, things like that.
Yeah.
You know.
I did it last week with chokes. It was like a baby's class. I had them sitting in front of each other, just put the hands on the side of the neck to feel where the karate, and then just holding the choke and holding the position. Sitting like this, like a lot of bleeding. I'm going to say, I can't even say something like that. Like a lot of idiots, and he was sitting here, we're just learning how to twist the wrists, and it's saying that, like, a proper show coming on, it's not one of them where you make a face and you're screaming your head off. Yeah. You don't know, you're going unconscious.
Yeah, you're just
that's a good show. I got choked there. We had a fella in Portmore in the judo club, and I was going to choke, so me would be getting a judo player and killing everybody. That's the choke on me, and I go to stand up next to the ball, I'm fucking snoring, and snot's coming out of my nose. I didn't even know it was on. And that's a good choke. And we were sitting them right back down, like this, putting the hands in. You feel that, feel a bit of pressure, and then let's go next time. I'm trying to pull each other's head. No, don't pull each other's head up. Let's just try it without any power, without any effort. And then we set into the positions in the guard and done all the positions with the hands, you know. But slow it right down. And you'd be surprised, the high level guys that forget the little basic positions. Forget all of a sudden the guard is open and the elbows are out, or, you know.
Burning their hands out and burning their arms out and things like that. And chokes that are supposed to be slow burners, You were the first fella to put me asleep. There you go. Up in team.
That was just talking to him.
It's a conversation I remember. I think a bow and arrow choke or something like that. And like that, I was good, I was fine. I was like, I'll just fight the hands here a little bit. And then I think I'm out. And I actually woke up in the choke like going, oh no, I need to do something here. And I need to get out. Horrible feeling. I never want to feel like that again.
Right, we do another question here.
Go on.
So, due to the outbreak, should we consider going against the Gracie ways and wash our belts? So, Roger, I'll let you answer that.
No, don't wash your belt.
I've never washed my belt, ever. In judo or jiu-jitsu, ever.
Oh my God.
Look,
really?
you must fucking wash your belts.
Oh,
I've about 10 of them.
Well washed.
I've about 10
I
of them.
washed 10 belts, but I washed
Nice,
it.
literally just...
I've never washed them.
Yeah.
I had to train to wash them, did
I spoke to a fellow one time, and he was, I can't remember what he did, but like he worked in the hospital.
I do when I hang my belt up and all and my gear up in between washing it, I do spray them after spraying.
But why do you not wash them? Just the way it was.
It's just something as a kid when I come up that I didn't. No, just as a kid, I never thought. And I think as well, this might sound mad, right? I think the reason we didn't wash our belts as kids was because when you got your belt in judo as a kid years ago, you didn't buy a new belt. You went down to the chemist and you got a dye thing, and you come home and your ma dyed your belt in the sink. So I think that's why you didn't wash them. Because if you washed the dye, would come off them. And I think that's the truth of it. Because all of you went down to the shop. Never ever, you had one white belt when you started judo, and you used to go down, and we used to go down and do your grade, and then you get the dye. I don't know what it was, but the chemist sold it and done a made, and then your mother would dye it in the sink, and you would wear that. And then your next belt you dye it. So maybe that's why we didn't wash them. Because we would have washed them up in the wash.
Up with the penny farthing to get home then. So
no, but that's it. But I wonder, is that in mentality? Is that in the back of your mind? Then I don't wash my belt.
Now for the fire.
And the reason I don't is if I don't tend them, I don't have. I had one good judo black belt. I had for a long time. Some fucker robbed at me. I gave it lent to him in the club one night and put it on him. I've never seen it since. And Tommy sent me belts all over the time, and then Robbie gets belts and stuff. So I've about 10 black belts thrown in the atmosphere. So I don't put the same one all the time. Whatever's close.
I spoke to a fellow. This fellow, I can't remember what he did. I think he was a dermatologist, if I remember correctly. But he was talking. I was talking to him about staff and ringworm and all that kind of stuff that we get. And he was like, "And you just wash your gear afterwards." And I was like, "Haha," including the belt. And he was like, "Well, what you mean the belt?" He's like, "What you guys do? Why would you not wash your belt?" He was fascinated by it. I was like,
No.
Well, one thing I'd say as well about that is about washing the belts and stuff. All my life in judo, I never seen one case of ringworm or staph or anything like that. It wasn't until I took up Jiu Jitu and Noogie wrestling and stuff that I seen it. Now, was that because we were only in the mat twice a week and you would wash your suit regular?
And you'd probably less contact with the floor.
And the mats
we'd be standing up a lot. And the mats would be up and down, and they wouldn't be down all the time. And plus, it was never really skin on skin.
Would just, like, if you do a hard session, you used to a hard session in Jiu Jitsu, you'd be fucking covered in sweat. Your gi
Yeah,
was soaking.
yeah.
Is your gi like that in judo?
Oh yeah, really bad, really heavy, really sweating, of course, yeah. But you'd wash it, but you wouldn't never be, you'd never even use wear skin on skin. Your sweat is all over my suit.
Yeah.
Might get a little bit in the face.
Yeah.
I think one lad had a ring room, but like in so many years I'd never seen it in the judo on the mats, and it's probably because you're in the suit all the time. It's more something you see. I see a lot of the Noogie and the MMA lads pick up the skin infections more often because you are rolling on the mat in your shorts or your t-shirt. You know what I mean?
And you're getting a little
bit less maybe of a culture of cleanliness and hygiene as well in the Noogie.
Is it maybe less people training then as well? Maybe less people.
The MMA guys tend to be maybe a little bit, especially Is
that door bags MMA lads? In the gym.
What I was going to say a bit politer. I was going to say, well, they've got gloves and stuff like that, that are not so easy to wash, And
then not them, I get a couple of Dettol sprays, and at the end of the class, I grab all the gloves, their boxes, I spray all into the gloves, and I spray all the stuff.
How much are you charging for that?
Ballet service.
The land on the ground is in the
I've got a little cottage industry over here now, Andy. Glove cleaning service.
But they should deal with themselves.
Absolutely, yeah.
Look, all that shit's going to change now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
We're walking through disinfectant on the way through.
What good, being Kylie, what good exercises for grappling cardio? Grappling. Yeah, grappling is the best.
High-paced grappling.
If it's at home,
literally reducing mobility.
I think Tabata is probably good if you wanted it. Tabata training is what I used to do to get ready. Yeah.
Interval training is probably the best, but like if you don't have an opportunity, but like if you have a partner, you should be going.
Yeah.
That's why I said we have a little tiny weights area up in the gym now. And I said if I see it in there instead of rolling, you're dead.
I think it's important to do it as well.
Which
conditioning as well, yeah.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to actually show you a photograph right now. Reza won't want to be doing this. So Reza lost his last fight in Bellator. We all seen that. Reza's a really good jiu-jitsu player. And that's his game is wrestling and no-gi type of stuff. He's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and he got caught up in work and he was working for a friend of his. He got caught back up in the building sites. He was DJing and he had missed out on the string for the last camp fight. And I'll show you this photograph. He was shocked. Glasses on. I'm 47 this year, fuckers. I can't see without them. So his strength conditioning is very important. So we would do stuff that's based on the 5-minute round. So we would do like the 30 seconds kettlebell, a bit of sprints, a lot of Olympic lifting we would do, not going in and doing biceps and posing like Roger does in the gym. We would do a lot of Olympic stuff, a lot of squatting, a lot of explosive exercise, a lot of sprint work, all that sort of stuff, because it's part of the sport, isn't it? And we would always try and have a body there, because it is very important, to have a body. But I'm embarrassing Reds, and I won't show you the camera. I'll show the lads here the photograph, and you'll just see the difference between. So that was Reds for his last Bellator fight. Looks very skinny there. No arms. Right, have a look at that. Look, very skinny, very skinny, right?
Very handsome though, very handsome.
That was the fight just gone. That's when he was working, and he missed out the strength and conditioning, and he wasn't doing as much work as he was. That's his last Bellator fight. The one before that.
Big difference.
Fuck me,
massive difference. Look at that. There's probably 3 kilos of muscle in there.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And what happened was he had no recovery. So where he would go, he was doing loads of running all right, but he was missed out in the strength condition, missed out when we would do a lot of squat-based stuff, box jumps, resistance stuff, a little bit of tears, all that stuff where you're moving and hitting with your running and with your jiu-jitsu and with your wrestling and stuff. And he missed out on that for this camp.
Yeah.
And at the end of the round, he couldn't recover the way he usually recovered.
I find it extraordinary to hear the lads going for competitions and tournaments and not doing fitness work, not doing additional fitness work.
We were on the beach this morning.
Yeah.
We were on the beach this morning. All the lads out this morning. Half of them didn't turn up. A few of the kids turned up. So I always think of when I trained full time, what was my goal? I ran every day. I had my weights at lunchtime, and I was on the mats at the evening time because full time gyms then. But you had to get your 3 sessions in. Doesn't matter if you're in work, you had to get your sessions in. People are spoiled now. Look at this facility here. Look, mats are down full time. Great facility outside there as a gym. I suppose lads could join the gym here as well. Could they get a day? Probably could they. Which is, you have everything like everything.
Roger gets a kickback if they do.
Yeah. No, we have a gym. We have a fighters room in our place. We have air salt bike, row machines.
Salt bikes daily.
Yeah.
We've similar, but it doesn't get used.
But you don't miss a class to do it. You don't miss a class to do it.
Yeah.
I boxed in Trinity Boys years ago, ski bun and all the lads are coming into, we all went to start in the boxing club and lads were going out for a run. Where are you going? Go for it. No. You run when you're not in the box club. You run after or the next day. You're a fucking boxer here today. We're boxing. You don't come in here to go running. You come in here and learn the technical aspects, learn how to hold your hands, how to move your footwork, how to hit the bag, how to hit the pads. Now you go running. What people do find is, I did an argument with someone was saying to me, you don't need to run. Running is no good if you're a combat athlete.
Because it's
5-minute rounds and this and you know, I'm hang on a second.
That was the fashion a few years ago. Yeah,
we run for certain reasons. Lads run for it's a mental thing. You're getting out on the road. You know, I hate fucking running the running machine because you're going at the pace of the machine. The environment never changes. The weather never changes. The scenery never changes. We were out there this morning. We're going through the dunes. There was dogs bleeding when I bite one of us. You know, you're bumping into people. You're on the beach. The wind is there. Then it gets warm. Then there was swamp. We were crossing bits of rivers and stuff. That's great. So your mind is working. You're getting fresh air. You're keeping the weight down. You're keeping that
touch your mental strength about it as well. Yeah, to keep going and just to push
plus
through
we're out there as a team. So
where are you doing that?
Dahlia. So we get down there a few days. You know.
I use the raw machine.
It's brilliant. I use the raw machine cut weight.
And it's got a little mix of it anyway because it's total body and it's got so you're not just I suppose you're not just running, you're not just cycling. So
and it's great in your injuries because you're not putting any pressure on the joints and the knees and all. I had a broken ankle. I
did 7K a few weeks ago there on the rower and I got the best time. I came off. And 2 days later, I was showing a double leg. I bent down, in my back, and I went, "That's the row."
Injuries. Anyone ask about injuries in that?
No. These are all young fellas.
You find when you get older, you get injuries in them.
Yeah.
Easily get them.
Never get injured.
I got a torn.
Just one injury.
I got a torn hamstring.
The injury, is it? Yeah.
I got a torn hamstring there last year, and what happened was I was messing on the mat. So we warmed up. We started letting on the breakdance, right? I'm messing, and I'm doing on tormenting all the lads, and I'm doing all the stuff. Couldn't even half do it.
Was it 1980s?
Yeah.
What's your band?
Yeah,
Wham.
Dire Straits.
Yeah, no, it was just me out. So I was breakdancing and I was messing, and then I was having a bit of crack doing that Russian thing and jumping down. So that was grand messing.
Do as a demonstration.
No, don't do So I was doing all that match at the golf shows, and then we were passing guard, right? I went to the pass guard, remember when I moved, pop, hit the blade deck. Of course, the umpires jump up. Submission! I submit them! So it was just that bit of messing and thinking I was warm. Obviously, your body does react the same, you know. And that was me out there for about 6 months.
If I don't look after myself, I get injured. That's what happens. If I don't warm up, I have to warm up now, and I have to warm up before the warm up as well. Yeah. So even though, because what I found what I was doing was when I was getting, you're the blown, you're both in now, you're done. When I was getting injured, what was happening was I was teaching class and I was rolling afterwards. So it was cold for an hour and a half, and then I was going, right now I'll jump in. You know?
No, you warm up, you cool down, and then you train.
Yeah, that's what I did, and I got in 8 last week.
Yeah.
So you see, you are all old, like us young people.
The youthful.
Under 40.
Under 70.
What rat?
You're all right. Masters 2, it's okay, is it? But once we hit Masters 3, no, I don't. Honestly, no, I don't get half as injured as I used to because I am a bit smarter. Like I used to do stupid shit in the gym, stuff like that. We're talking about strength and conditioning and stuff like that. I used to slam myself like in the weight room, be like, I have to do more. Pushing sleds and dragging things and doing everything like that. And I get up on the mat and I'd be like, oh, my knee, jeez, what's happening? Come on now, you know.
I changed. I was the same,
yeah.
I was going to the strength conditioning with lads. So Kevin Hendricks would be trying there, lads, the Jiu Jitu MMA lads, in the full-time program, the strength conditioning. And I wouldn't be able to keep up the focus. So they're too fit and fast. And they'd be doing that. I'd be only half around the lap and they'd be finished their run and stuff, you know. So I'd say to them, when we're doing squatting, I'm going to show these fuckers. I'd be doing 250 kilos squatting. And then, skew, but it's like, for what? Like, and then I can't walk there for 3 days. I can't teach them out for 3 days. My calves and my knees and my back is in bits. Just to show, to try and prove to them, well, you might be faster. Stupid stuff.
That's
so I got to change all that.
Yeah, like somebody who's older, I don't know if that was a question, but you can't be comparing yourself to them young fucking 20-year-olds.
No. I know,
and especially, like, all you fuckers are all, like, what, middleweight, heavyweight, ultra
middle heavyweight.
Right, fucking featherweight. So I'm old now and I'm still fucking small. Yeah. So it was like, and now, like, the one thing I had going for me for years was a little bit of speed, and that's leaving me now. So there's young lads in here like Killian Clark, and he beat the shit out of me because he's younger, faster, playing my game but better.
I always remember Felipe Costa talking about small people training. And one of his stories was that what happens when you come into the gym, the big guy finds the small guy and goes, I'll warm up with you.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so it's like the guy's like a medicine ball. It's like, just I'm going to throw him around a little bit, get a bit warmed up. Never had that luckily enough now.
We had John, you don't know John Donnelly at my place.
I remember John.
Training jiu-jitsu all his life, but he's gassy, so he's only back training, and he'd be clever enough to watch his rolls and not pace himself. We're all sitting there a few weeks ago, and he sits around the mat at the end of the class. He said, "You tired? No. You tired? No. You tired? No. You tired? Yeah. You want to roll?" He said, "I'm not rolling all them lads out fresh." He says, "That's clever."